to the first Physio Yoga, Pilates and yoga class. It's our signature class that combines yoga and Pilates. So the first part will be a warm-up where it will be mainly Pilates focused. So Pilates works on setting your posture, activating your core muscles, or I guess the stability muscles that hold you in that good posture. And then you're using your arms and your legs or gravity to challenge you a little bit more to maintain that good position. Tonight's focus is bringing strength to the front body and releasing and trying to let go of muscles in the back of our body and bringing balance front and back. I really hope you enjoy it. Just a word of caution, if you have a history of whiplash, neck injuries, then please choose a less intense variation for your neck and make it harder by using your legs. And then after a little bit of a warm-up, we'll get into the yoga part of the class. Now, the technical thing that may be a bit of an issue is in order for you to see me standing up, I'm going to have to move away from the camera and the speaker, which will make it harder to see. So I'll be using a lot of gestures tonight as well. So your impression of the audio would be really helpful. So, okay, let's get started. A little bit of a technical thing to start is how do you activate your core muscles? Well, what it feels like is if you're basically trying to stop yourself doing a wee, or if you imagine a line from your pubic bone to your tailbone and you try and shorten that distance, and if you squeeze it quite strongly, you'll probably feel some activation of your deep abdominal muscles. You shouldn't feel your butt muscles clench. You shouldn't move, your whole spine shouldn't flex or extend. It should be just that internal contraction that holds you still. So when I talk about activating your core muscles, that's what I'm talking about. All right, so let's get started. So I'm going to, every now and then, I'll be adjusting the camera down and up. So let's start here. I'm going to lie down on your back. Your knees are bent. And like I said, I'm going to try and be as close to the camera as possible so that you can hear me. All right, here's good. We're going to start with some pelvic tilts. So you're going to be rolling your spine forward, creating an arch in your back, and then rolling your spine back and flattening your spine into the floor. So you want to make your hips the hinge of the movement. So as you roll forward, if I go too far like I did before to accentuate it, my ribs flare up toward the sky. What you want to do is allow those ribs to stay soft. The movement happens at your hip. You inhale forward and then exhale and flatten back. Again, inhaling. If I put my hands here, you can see. Inhale forward, exhaling back, keeping the axis of movement around your hips, not allowing the ribs to flare out. Now, if this is not comfortable, now grab a pillow or a folded blanket or a folded towel under your head. 2 more rounds, inhaling forward, exhaling back. Last one, inhale forward. So this is forward, exhaling back, and then find halfway between those 2 points. That's your neutral spine. Now we'll try a side tilt. So you're going to drop your right hip into the floor and then back to neutral. And I'll accentuate it now. And then your left hip. But you want to just make it your pelvis. So when you press your right hip down, feel your hips level and then back to the center, and then your left hip and back to the center. So neutral is not forward, not backwards. It's in the middle and it's not tilted. So now when you activate your core muscle, pubic bone to tailbone, engage that muscle, your spine will stay neutral, no flexing, extending, stays here. Now if we want to challenge a little bit more, you inhale, lift your leg up, exhale and lower. Let's do the same side 5 times. Inhaling up, exhaling to lower. Now there's no change in this gap in my back as my leg lifts and lowers. If you don't really need to use your core muscles so much, that's fine, you don't need to. Let's swap to the other side. Practice engaging the core, it's good practice, and then lifting the leg up and then lowering it down. So this shape we call tabletop with one leg. So we talk about tabletop, you're coming here and then lowering it back down. Now to make it a bit harder, engage your core, lift one leg up, inhale, exhale, strengthen your core and lift the second leg up. Then lower one leg down and the other. I call this walking to tabletop. So inhale, engage core, lift the second leg up, and then lower one leg and the other. keeping that spine nice and neutral. What tends to happen is we'll either arch our back to lift it up, or we might overdo it and tuck our tail under. Try and keep that spine neutral. If you want to make it harder now, bring one leg up, bring the second leg, and stay there. And then you're going to reach that leg. Can't see so well. I'll turn around this way. Reach it to 45. So from here, we're reaching the leg out and then back. And the second side, reaching it out and then bringing it back. So I'll go back to the side now. Back to tabletop. Move a little bit further away. One leg, second leg, engage your core, reaching out and then back. And then out and then back. If you've been doing this the whole time, you'll start to feel that work in your abdominal muscles as you're working, reaching the leg out and then back. Now make sure you're not gripping with your neck or your shoulders. Your spine is still neutral and you're still breathing. This is called 45 degrees with the legs. All right, let's lower the legs down. Let's work more with the upper body now. We're going to tuck the chin in, lengthen the back of the neck on the floor, but try and keep the throat relaxed. So inhale, lengthen, exhale, release. Trying to lengthen the back of the neck, relaxing the neck muscles, activating the core muscles at the front, and then releasing. So you don't want to feel extra tension. If it's tensing up, you could be lifting your head. Don't lift your head. Keep it long. Okay. Now, if your neck is sensitive, that should be okay to do. But if your neck is okay, you can now practice chin in. Now, I want you to use your ribs and tuck your ribs down as you come up. So you're using your abs as a curl up, keeping your spine neutral, then coming back down. Let's practice that again. Inhale, chin in. Exhale, curl up, ribs move down. But can we still keep that curve in our low back? So I put my hands there so I'm not tucking my tail in. It's just a little curl up. Chin in. Curl from the ribs, chin stays in, exhale back down. Now the next thing you can do is bring your hands under your head. Inhale, lengthen the neck. It supports your neck. Curl up using your abs again. So it's going to make it harder because you're having to lift your arms as well, but it's better on your neck this way too. So let's continue that 5 times. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, curl. Inhale, down and relax. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, curl, down, and let's go at that pace or make it more intense for the last 3 by curling and then down, and then curling, down, curling, and then down. All right, so now you've seen the bottom, the leg variation. We've got the chin variation happening. Let's put it all together now. So inhale, lengthen the neck, curl up. Let's stay here now. You can either walk to tabletop, keeping your spine neutral, or you can lift both legs up and keep them here. Should be a lot of work in your core. Don't brace with your belly. Keep your belly drawn in, neutral spine. And now let's touch 1 and back up. So you might hear me shaking or see me shaking. It's a lot of hard work. We don't want any work in the neck. No strain in the back. Core is switched on like we talked about before. Let's do 3 more pairs. If you want to make it harder, extend the leg to 45 and back. Inhaling and back. 2 more breaths. Keep it breathing. That's right. We have to keep breathing as well. And out. 1 more either side. Extend. Extend. And then lower 1 leg down and the other. And we'll stretch out. Well done. Okay, let's work on the back of the body. So we're going to roll to the side. I'm going to come up to sitting. Again, I'm shifting away so you can see more. In fact, again, just bear with me while I put the computer screen up a little bit. Okay. Now we're going to do some curl down. So have your feet forward. Chin we can tuck in first, just like we did lying down. Chin in, shoulders curl forward, and reach your arms forward. Stay here. Breathe into your back. Inhale. Exhale, engage the core muscles and curl yourself up 1 vertebra at a time. Head comes up last. Let's do that again. Chin in, shoulders round forward. Breathe here. Breathe into your back. Exhale. And then curl yourself back up. Again, chin, shoulders curling down. Breathe. Engage core, curling back up. Okay, you want to make it a bit harder. Here we go. Chin in, curling down, reaching forward. Now engage your core muscles. Stay in this shape as you lean back. Keep that curved spine. See where can you get your fingertips to your knees. Stay here, feet still on the floor. Exhale, dive forward, and then come back up. So less intense version, you're curling down, one vertebra at a time, coming down, staying, and you breathe. If you're doing the curl back, stay here, curling back. See if you can go a little bit further. Can you take your fingertips a bit further? Keep the feet down. Exhale, curl. And then back up. Last one of these. Chin, shoulders, round forward, stay. Or curl. Stay. Curl forward. And then back up. Okay, we're going to go all the way to the floor, stopping it 3 times. Chin, shoulders, reaching, curl, stopping 1, breathe in, stopping 2, stay there, shoulders up, come down so just your shoulders are up, and then come all the way down. Give yourself a nice stretch out. I've ended up way over here. Let me wriggle back down again. Okay, second round on those core strengthening exercises now. So, chin in, hands behind the head, curling up. Stay or come back down if your neck needs it, otherwise support your head. Then bring one leg up and down and then the other. So that's your first option. Option 2, legs in tabletop. So 5 times, you're either going to drop one toe at a time or you're going to extend out and back, out and back. Okay, 3 more. Inhale, slow it down and back. Inhale. Exhale, last 2. Stay in that shape. Core in, spine neutral, chin in. There's much work in your abs, as little in your neck and shoulders as possible. One more here. You know what? Let's do one more. Inhale and back. One more. And lower, lower, and stretch out. This time, you can either roll to your side to come back up, or you can try curling up. Reach your arms up toward the sky, chin in. See if we can curl up as slowly and smoothly as possible. Great, onto your tummies now. Bhujangasana. Let's start by propping on your elbows. So cobra pose. First thing is to prop on your elbows, let your back just relax. If you want to stretch it out a bit more, you can push up and then down. Pressing up and then down. Again, up and then down. Coming down all the way. Next step is to try and come up using your back strength. So chin in again. Inhale, come up. Exhale, down. Good. Inhaling. Exhaling. Good. Inhale. Exhale. This time we're going to hold it. Inhale, coming up and stay. 3. If your back is okay, your shoulders are okay, take them behind your back, reach down, and try and stay for one more breath here. Nice job. Okay, hands under your shoulders, peel yourself up, and let's come to downward facing dog. So tucking the toes behind you, sitting back, and coming to downward facing dog. So stretch there for 5 breaths. 4. Now I'm going to bring my mat a bit further forward, so you keep staying in downward dog. I just need to explain, normally I'd put an opening prayer in here, but it seems really weird chanting by myself, so we'll get back to that when we get back into classes. Right now, we're going to move into a sun salute variation, so transitioning more into the yoga part of the class. Just come down onto all 4s for again. I'll just give you a trick with down dog. When we get into it, try and tuck your toes, sit back toward your feet, and use your strong legs to then lift you up into downward dog. I don't mind if your legs are not straight. They can be bent so you can get really long through your body. Once you've got that length, if the heels can come down, you're welcome to press them down. But prioritize the shape of your spine being nice and long and open, and then the heels coming down. Okay, take another 2 breaths there. 1 and 2. Here we go, coming down onto the knees. This is where we're working on the upper body strength. Become a little bit closer again. I'll come this way. So let's start here with the push-up part. Chaturanga, based on chaturanga, just bending the elbows and coming back up. So you don't want to sag. So you can practice sagging and lifting between your shoulder blades. Core on, neutral spine. You're not tucked under, not arches, still neutral. Try just sagging between your shoulder blades and lifting. It helps to free things up. Now find that halfway point and stay. Now try bending and lifting. Just the elbows do the work. You could even turn the fingertips in a little way to help you. Now, if you want to make it more intense, let's keep that same shape. Take the legs back so you're on your knees. Shoulders, hips and knees. Try and get a straight line. Lift between the shoulder blades and here we go. Coming down and back up. Core on, lifted shoulder blades down as far as you can control and back up. Again, one more here. Now, for those of you who want to take it a little bit more intense, tuck your toes, come to a plank. You can either hold that plank. Be careful. What we do here is we tend to sag or sag between the shoulders. Tuck the tail under. Switch the core on. More using your abs now, drawing in towards your spine. And then 3, 2, keep breathing. 1, now we're going to lower. So for the first time, let's drop to the knees. Focus on that lift between your shoulders and lower to touch your chest to the floor first. Great. We've just done Bhujangasana. We should remember, inhale coming up 3 times. Exhale down. So feet pressed into the floor. Inhale. Exhale. Long spine. Okay, let's stay here. Bring the hands back. Engage the core more and lift up. Upward facing dog. If your wrists are no good, if your wrists don't like this or your back doesn't like it, stay here. If you're okay, engage core, lift up. And then drop to the knees, tuck the toes and come to downward facing dog. Try to stay where you can see me. Let's try that little sequence again. It's a breakdown of a sun salute. Coming down onto your knees. Your choice, you're either half plank, all fours, or full plank. Here we go, 3 times. Inhale. 1, 2, 3. Now we lower. Lower, stay, 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 and lower. Inhale, Bhujangasana. 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Inhale up, stay, bring the hands back, so stay, or lift the chin, then drop to the knees, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. 3 breaths. 1, 2, exit breath 3 again. So back to your plank. It's either full or half plank. I'll go on my knees this time. 1, 2, 3, lower, stay, 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 and down. Inhale, Bhujangasana. 1, 2, 3, stay, or hands back. Lift, drop to the knees, tuck the toes, downward dog. Last round, 3 breaths. 1, 2, again, last one. Coming back to your plank. Lifted shoulders, core on. Give your wrists a break. You can leave this out if you need to. Come here, you can see. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Now hover. 3, 2, 1. Lie down. Bhujangasana. 1. Long spine. Core on. 2, 3. Hands back. Lift. Then drop to the knees. Tuck the toes, downward dog. Well done. All right. 2 more breaths here. 1 and 2. Coming down. Great work. Okay. So you can keep stretching there, give your wrists a little bit of a break. What we're going to move into next is the next part of the sun salute, which involves stepping one leg forward. So in practice in the studio, we've been working on this on the last couple of weeks. So let's slip that in here now. I'll bring this a bit closer forward. So, and again, technical issues. Let's get that better. All right. Come onto your mat. I'm going to mirror you. So your right leg, bring that one forward, hands down. If you've got the space to put your hands on the outside, do so. Otherwise, you can go on the inside. You want to feel a stretch in your inner thigh and your back quad. Let's take 2 more breaths here. Sinking the hips down, pressing with the hands. 1, 2. Exit breath 3. Tuck the back toes, come to your half plank, back to half plank, and downward dog. Lower to your knees again, coming up, second side. Lift the leg forward, then bring your hands down. The step forward is one of the hardest things that people have. If you can't get your foot forward, break it down like this. Press in the hands, have a feel if you need to go on the inside or if you can go on the outside there. Sinking the hips down, maybe a front inner thigh stretch, maybe a back quad stretch. Sink the hips down. Last 2 breaths here. 1. And then before you move, I'm going to show you it from the side. So from here, you're going to tuck your back toes, push through your leg, get that straight position, and then slide the leg back, try and stay low, and then come to downward dog. Great. Now, if that's where you're at, stay there. Otherwise, next time you can try and step your foot all the way through to get fingers and toes in line. If you get your fingers and toes in line, great. If you can't and you get stuck halfway, release your hands, move your foot, then put your hands back down. So if you want to have another practice, you're stepping forward, lowering the back knee, releasing the foot. Okay, let's practice that transition back. Tuck the toes, straight back leg, slide the front leg back. Back to down dog, second side, and step. Lower, release, and down. 3, 2, and 1. Tuck the back toes, straighten, back to downward dog. Great. Okay, let's do the next part. We're going to step forward. This time, cut your back foot to the side, bring your hand on the inside. Take your other hand up high. Let's see how we go there. Now, this is a really deep pose. If this doesn't work, you can stay at any variation of here that you like. Otherwise, if you're feeling strong today and you can take it a bit further, that knee's okay, you can reach the top hand to the sky or overhead. 3, 2, exhale, 1. Let's come back to where we were and then back forward. Back to down dog, second side. Step it forward, cut your back leg to the side, bring your other hand on the inside. So like I said, you could stay here or inside, back leg to the side, stay low, keep that knee outside your shoulder. Then the other hand reaches up or overhead. 3, 2, and 1. Hands down, back to neutral, back to down dog. All right, well done. Next part, back to the right side. So I'm mirroring you. Lower the back leg down, and again, you could stay here, or I'm going to have to move back again, so I'll use my gestures. We're going to try and go up a bit higher. So from here, you're going to tuck the back toes, one hand. Now, if your knees are a bit sore, use your hands as much as you need to. Otherwise, try and stay low and reach your arms up. From the side, you're here. If your knee is sore, come up higher. Otherwise, stay down low. Reach the arms. 3, 2, and 1. Let's come down slowly, slowly curling down. We'll bring the hands down back to where we were. Slide the leg back, back to down dog, left side. Stepping forward, lowering the back leg, staying, or tuck again, straighten, and slowly bring yourself up. Reach the arms now for 3 breaths. That's 1. That's 2. That's 3. Slowly curling back down. Hands down and back to down dog. Now, this is a lot of work on the arms and legs. We've got one more to do right here. Last one. So again, I'll mirror you. Step with your right leg. Lower the back leg. Release. Now, hands to come in prayer. Turn your chest towards the front leg. And bring your elbow to the front leg. You could stay here in a twist. Now, if you're pregnant, then you want to be really careful not to do too much of a closed twist. Otherwise, you can slide it to the outside. Bring your hands in prayer and start to bring your hands toward your chest. Option to stay there or now sink the hips down lower. That's going to deepen the twist. Tuck the back toes. Now, if you've got the balance, you've got 3 more breaths. Try and straighten that back leg. For 3, for 2, for 1. Lower, unwind. You've got it, hands down, straight leg, slide it back, back to down dog. Last one. Left leg, step, lower the leg. Hands in prayer, turn toward the front leg. Elbow onto it or over it. Hands in prayer into the heart space. Sink the hips down. Tuck toes, couple breaths here. Now if you think you can go a step further, straighten that back leg. 3, 2, and 1. Hands down. I'm going to, how do we do this? Yeah, I'm going to step my feet forward, but so you get a better view, I'm going to turn to the side. I'm going to come into a deep squat now. Again, if your knees are too much, just stand up, come into your deep squat. And sink here, stretching the low back, stretching the calf muscles and the inner thighs. Take 3 breaths here. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, engage your core muscles. See if you can lift up. Elbows the same height as your knees. Stay for 3, 2, and 1. Hands down, bottom up, and walking yourself back to down dog for 3 breaths. 1, 2, and then onto your knees. Knees go wide, head down. 3 more breaths. 1, 2, 3. Hands under the shoulders, lifting yourself up. Let's make our way to sitting. What's a good distance? Here. Here's good, isn't it? Right, so sitting tall on your sitting bones. Again, we don't want to slouch. So if by straightening your legs, your hamstrings are a bit tight and they tuck you under, bend your knees, sit yourself up nice and tall. And then you can choose to go just as far as you can go before your tail tucks under. So engage that core. Sit up tall. I don't care what your legs are doing. Let your hands rest down, looking forward, and breathe. Again, you guessed it, 3 times. 1, 2. Exhale, 3. Chin can tuck down, shoulders round, core on. You can bend your knees up so you can reach down your legs. Catch hold of whatever you can reach. Feet or toes even. Stay here. If that's okay, you can walk your heels or waddle, 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 waddle. See how straight your legs go. Now breathe. This time we're going for five breaths. Find some space wherever you can breathe into. So core is switched on, pelvic floor lifted. Find some space across your back to breathe into. Stretch the back of your arms. I don't mind what your arms do. I don't mind if they go wide or here. See how far you can reach. Everything down the back of your body is stretching here. So, you know what, let's take another 5 breaths from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Draw your belly in, ease yourself up. Now we're doing the opposite. Draw your belly in and curling back, hands back, then roll hips, waist, shoulders, head. Curling down again, starting with the hips, waist, shoulders. You'll get a stretch across your chest and maybe a bit through your wrists as well. And so just take your time. Some of us will be stopping here, some of us there, some a bit further. Now, if you want to just loosen up your spine there a few times, do so. Or make it harder, bend your leg, put your heel next to your knee. So kneecap here, foot goes next to it. Exhale, and then lifting up like a table. No hammocks, no sinking. Lift it up more. Use your hips. Heels down, hips lift, tuck the tail under. Chin can stay in to protect the neck for 3. If your wrists are sore, go back a little bit this way. Make the hamstrings do more work. 2. Exhale, come back down. Release the legs. Now we're going to work the other way. So come up onto your knees. Now, should have told you before I walked away. If your knees are sensitive for this one, grab a blanket to kneel on. Otherwise, see how you go. It's a bit hard on a firm surface. It's thigh stretch to release more, a bit through the core. Quads are often tight, especially if you do a bit of running. So reach the arms forward. If you can't see my head, doesn't matter. Okay, reach your arms forward. You're going to lean back and then come back up again. So engage core as you come back. So no tail tucking under, straight back. No sitting, we're not sitting. The tail long and we're leaning. Take it easy on the knees. It's a strong one on the knees. 2 and 1. Come back up. Reach your hands down. Stretch the hands down. Lift the chest. Stretch across the chest. 3, 2 and 1. Okay, second time. Reach the arms again. Join the core. And if you want to make it hard this time, go stop 1, go further 2, go further 3, and then come up. Now, if that's too much, you just go back and up again. Otherwise, here we go 1, 2, 3, and back up. Last one. 1, 2, 3, and come back up. This time, again, you can stretch. If your back is okay, tuck your tail under, protect your back, and start to lean back so you're stretching your abdominal muscles. Nothing in your back. You do not want to feel this in your back. Only a stretch down the front. You guessed it for 3, 2, and 1. Coming back up and coming down. Great. Last couple of things we're going to finish with are a couple seated postures. So we're going to continue sitting. Bring your feet up and let your knees go out to the side. Baddha Konasana. So bound angle posture. So holding onto your heels, knees out to the side. Now, sitting up as tall as you can. It doesn't matter if your knees don't go down. Don't force your knees. You want to feel a stretch in your inner thigh, not in your pelvis, and not in your pubic bone at the front. 2 more breaths here. Sitting up tall, the taller you'll sit, the more stretch you will get, or you can lean forward. Holding here. 3 breaths. 2, 1. And then from here, I'll just turn to the side, coming back up. Chin comes in, shoulders round forward. Try and get your head toward your toes. Doesn't have to touch. It's just the position. It's just the direction your head's going in. 3, 2, and 1. Inhale back up. Now, wherever your legs get to is fine. They don't have to be the wide splits. It's just legs forward. Turn toward your, let's do it the same way. Turn to your left. Then chin can come in, shoulders round forward. If you turn the wrong way, no one knows. It doesn't matter. Just keep going. Chin, head can come down. Coming back up, turn the other way. And then chin, shoulders, rounding forward. Coming back up. Can you keep the weight even on your sitting bones? So turn one way, keep the weight even. Curling down, keep the weight even. And then curling back up. Second side, chin, shoulders, rounding forward. And then back up again. You may continue with that, or you can take it a step further. Core on, slide your hands forward. Doesn't matter if they don't get to your toes, get to wherever you can manage. Wherever you can manage. Lift the chest, chin in, so long neck, just like we practiced at the start. Leaning forward. Stretch through the legs as you lift the chest forward. Stay for 3, 2, and 1. Coming back up. You can use your legs to help you. Finally, a little bit more core strength to finish. Onto your toes. 3 breaths. Now, you can hold here, especially if your back is sensitive. Hold under. If you don't need to, maintain that position with your hands. If you're okay there, we can take it a step further and bring your shin bones to parallel. If you don't need your hands, if your back is okay, reach your hands forward. 3, 2. Okay, let's try our balance a bit more. Bring the legs in now. Catch hold of your big toes or your ankles, whatever you can catch hold of, whatever you reach to. Ankle, if that feels better, hold your shins. Then wherever you get to, extend those legs out. Let's see if you can hold on for 3, 2. Now you can choose to stay there, or let's take it up a notch. Engage your core, keep the legs there. So you can bring your hands down for 3, 2, And 1. Well done. Bring the legs around. Let's do cow and cat 3 times. Inhale and exhale. 1, 2, and 3. We're going to finish with a spinal twist. We're going to finish back where we started, back to the start. Interlace your hands behind your head. Knees and feet together, and slowly take your knees to the side. Stop whenever you feel you need to. Again, I don't want you to feel this in your low back. Your lumbar spine isn't designed to twist a great deal. So when you get to your end, breathe into your upper chest once. Breathe into the sides of your rib cage now. Breathe here. And then breathe into your belly. And now breathe slowly in all zones, upper, mid, and belly. Engage your core in the exhale. Bring the knees back to the center and to the other side. So knees to the side, upper chest, sides of the rib cage, belly, and then everything. And then draw your belly in, come back to the start. Now, what's really nice to do now, if you've got a few spare minutes, what I recommend that you do is you get a pillow or a bolster, you lie on your back and you put that under your knees, lie down and take rest into Savasana. So that's the physical practice. There's so much benefit from doing some meditation. So the last posture, Savasana, is where you practice letting go of what's happening around you. So I encourage you to give yourself 5 minutes in silence, laying down. Bring your awareness onto your breath. And every time your awareness starts to drift to wherever it's going, recognize where it's gone and then bring it back to your breath. Count the breaths in lots of 10. And when you reach 10 again, go back to 1. After about 5 minutes, slowly roll to your side, make your way up to sitting, and take a few moments before heading back out into the world. So